YouTubers, we're changing a valve cover gasket on an '04 Toyota Corolla. I've taken the positive wire off the terminal already. I've already loosened up my bolts for my coils for my spark plugs right here, 10 millimeter. I took the wires off. Here's a little, use a tiny screwdriver to help go up underneath that little tab there, lift it up so I can pull it off easier than yanking on it. I loosened up the bolts for the wire harness for those wires there. There's one underneath here, 10 millimeter, one back here, a nut, 10 millimeter also. And then you have your 10 millimeter bolts for your coils for your spark plugs. And then you have 10 millimeter bolts going around your valve cover down there. So you got your hoses here, one there, one here. I'm not taking the spark plugs out, I'm gonna leave them in. I'm just changing the gasket. I'm gonna take these bolts out of these coils. I already loosened them up. All right, these coils pop right out. Pull all 4 coils out. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the that one was a bit tricky to get off. Wow. All right. Pull them out. And bolts right there. I'm gonna loosen them up, and then we're gonna pull the cover off after I take them hoses off also. So, all right, guys, I got the bolts all the way around off. Them ones there, and in the back. Okay, got the hoses off. Them ones there. Now, I noticed getting this out. There's a bracket right here holding this wire harness on, and now there's this fuel line also. So you want to be careful pulling this out. You don't ruin your fuel line. So I'm gonna lift it from the back, kind of tilt it forward, so I can get this bolt out without damaging the bolt either. I'm gonna need 2 hands, so. But after that, right now I just popped it up already, and it come up, but I'm catching on that right there. So I'm gonna use 2 hands and pull this up and out, and then I'll show you how to put that gasket in. All right, guys, like I said, I needed 2 hands to pull that out, so I got it off evenly and I didn't tear any threads off on those bolts up front. But as you can see, some of my gasket stayed on the motor here, and some of it came off with the top of the valve cover. So it was going bad, it was leaking. I had some oil on the spark plug, so decided to give it a change. So I'm going to pull this here off. Yeah, it's pretty brittle. Feel it. You want to make sure you get it all. You don't want to drop nothing in there, so be very careful. Make sure there's nothing floating around that could fall in there, because good luck fishing that out. All right. it is. The old gasket. Set it somewhere there. Unorganized. Anyways, get the new one. Pull that old piece out. Now I like to, well, I'm gonna clean the edge here a little bit. Get any grime off the back end that was leaking. So I gave it a better seal when I put the new one in. Again, avoid getting anything inside. All right. This new one shouldn't be too bad, but yeah, it don't look like it's much in there. So let's take this bad boy over here. Yeah, it looks like there's nothing in there. It's hard to do one-handed. Sorry, I keep moving the camera. I got no help today. All right. I'm going in on the wrong side. I apologize. I'm confusing you guys. Make sure you put it in the right way. There's only one way it can go in. Don't force it. If it doesn't fit, if it don't match up, it's not it. Tell you what, it's difficult to do one-handed, but you get the point. All that matters. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get this on, and then I'm gonna turn around and set it back on there. Now, I've seen some people put a little bit of grease in here, or not grease. I'm sorry. Gasket sealer right there, silicone or whatever they're using. Might want to research that first before you do it. I did not. I forgot to get some, so I'm gonna hate that later when it starts to leak, and I'll regret it. So make sure you do that. I'm gonna put this on and flip it back over that cover, and we'll start back over from there. All right, guys, I done flipped it over. It was a tad difficult. I had to hold on to the blue seal on the back side because I couldn't get it in there right without it falling out. Got the bolts, or the bolt lined up again. So it's down, it's sealed. And I check, you can see it all the way around. See, on the back side, you can see the blue seal. So I know I got it in. Now I look down in the cylinder, and I can see a hint of blue. It's hard to see with this camera, but I was able to see a hint. You can see it right there a little bit. A little hint of blue down there. Now I checked each one. I could see all the way around, so I know the seal down the cylinders, or down the where I put the spark plugs. Also, down there, the they're not gonna leak now, so because they were leaking bad under my spark plugs. I kept failing spark plugs out. So just remember to put them bolts back in now, all the way around. So I'll do that, and then we'll put the boots back on. Alright guys, I got the bolts back on. Now I didn't put them on in a circle. I put them on in a pattern across from each other. I didn't have that one back there. It wasn't there, so that sucks for me because it's going to be leaking there, so I'm going to have to order another bolt for that. But yeah, I got the bolts on in a cross pattern so it sets the gasket down evenly. I didn't go nuts and crank down on them because you don't want to strip them out. They're only aluminum. Well, these ones were the bolts, so yeah, I didn't want to snap them or anything like that. So I got them to where they were nice and snug. Gave them a little bit of a turn, and yeah, those little rings you get to replace the ones that were on here previously, little black rings. If not, you might have oil come up and out of there. Maybe, you might not. Alright. Get these hoses back on. And there's one over here. I'm gonna get them I'm gonna get this back over without trying to ruin it. I hate messing with these old cars. I don't know if the wires are gonna break or not. That's the next thing I'll be changing. Another YouTube video. Alright. I'm gonna bolt that held on right here. Make sure that's nice and tight. No, I didn't go crazy on these either. I'm gonna stung these up a little bit better.